11th of September, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Okay, perfect timing. So let's go.
Ah,
Phil's on the go. Good morning, Phil.
Good morning. I'm a block away from the house. I will be home very soon, and so it'll be looking normal.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's see.
ah,
So what happened? Oh, yesterday we did what did we do? We did the Rashis.
We didn't finish the Rashis on that page. I don't think where we were up to.
Oh yeah, we had this long Rashi, Hochanami Dekama. Yeah, yeah. Oh yes, okay. Yeah, so we did yesterday is what we did. We did Rebbe Avohu. Rebbe Avohu. This can Rebbe Avohu is found. He is found.
We turned over to 983.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to start summarizing from Rebbe Avohu so we understand where we're coming from. And Rebbe Avohu can be found about, I would say about 22 lines from the bottom of the page. Don't bother to count them all. But the first word in the line is Biado. Yeah, first word in the line is Biado. Sharlokona, Lozeh, Lozeh. And then it says, last two words in that line are Rebbe Avohu Omar. Rebbe Avohu said, La'olam Kediktani.
Which page is it on, please?
9A3, right-hand column, the second paragraph.
9A3. Thank you. Right-hand column, second paragraph. Okay, thanks.
Okay, so after we had all the emendations to this brisa with the writer and the holder of the bridle, Rabbi Vo comes back and he wants to preserve the original girsa of the brisa, Kediktani, and he wants to explain what did the original girsa of the brisa read? Was that when you got a echad rachuf chamor ve'echad b'mosera, you have one rider on the chamor, and then you have somebody who's holding on to the bridle. So the brisa said, "Zeh kona chamor, v'zeh kona mosera." This one acquires the chamor. This one acquires the bridle, and that was a proof shmamida that Rachel is koning, that the rider is able to make a kinyan. And we said that kinyan was a kinyan because he's doing manhig by causing the animal to move forward, run forward when he puts his cowboy spurs into the animal's body to make it go. Okay. And the other one, who's just holding onto the bridle, the brisa says he doesn't acquire the animal at all. and but he does acquire the bridle. Okay, so Rabbi Bo, he wants to say that we don't have to change the price at all. And he said, "Hoil v'yochol v'natzka lavia etzlo," because he said that since since he's able to yank it and pull the part of the bridle that's on the head of the animal to himself, so he acquires that. He acquires that. He acquires the whole bridle. He acquires the whole bridle. So that's what Rabbi Avo is doing. He's trying to explain why the holder of the bridle can acquire the whole bridle, even though he did not do a hagboah on that part of the bridle, which is on the animal's head. And the one that is rider, he's going to acquire the animal because Rachel will be kona, because he's doing manhig. Okay, so what did we say? We said that the Gemora said that the opinion that Rebbe Avo is expressing is what the Gemora calls berusa. It's an outside opinion, like the word brisa. It's outside outside the confines of the Mishnah. The brisa is outside. So this view that Rabbi Avo says is brusa, meaning it's not accepted. It's not accepted it's not an accepted mainstream view. And then the Gemara went on to prove how it is that it's not accepted. So okay, with that introduction, just trying to get everybody that was not there yesterday into the Gemara over here. And with that, we're going to go to the Rashis over here. And with the Rashis, hopefully we'll be able to understand what's the proof that it's not an accepted opinion. Okay. So we'll start from the Rashi of I don't know which is.
We actually did all the Rashis down to except for the bottom where it says Rechub Sadeh and with the difference between the Sadeh and the ear. That's what we're really up to in the Rashis. What was the difference between the fields and not the fields? That's what we're up to.
Okay, that's already a completely different. Okay.
Well, the other ones we did. The Rabbi Abo, up to that we did.
Yeah. All right.
The other one was explained. It was considered an outside view, but now we actually continued. We started the Torah Shema the next later after that.
Okay. Okay, so let's just go further then.
And you want to do the other thing or not? I don't know.
Okay. So really what we should have done instead of what we did was to just say over this Toshma again. Let's read the Toshma from the Gemora again, and then we'll read the Rashi that goes together with it. So this is the Toshma of Rabbi Eliezer Omer, which is the Toshma, which is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, about 11 lines up from the bottom. First word in the line is etzlo. Everybody has the place? 9A,
Four.
whatever.
You're in 9A3, 9A4 now we're up to, which turn the page to 9A4 to the Torah Shema on the left side.
Okay, so Roy, you want to read Toshma?
Okay. Toshima, come and learn that a rider does acquire from the following Barisa. Rabbi Eliezer Omer, Rabov Versodeh. One who, Rabbi Eliezer says, one who rides a found animal in the fields, or Magahig Ba'ir, or one who leads it, even in the city, Kana acquires it. And that proves his this proves that a rider alone does acquire, at least in the fields. But the Gemara rejects this proof as well and says, Acha nami manahig love. Here too, as in the Mishnah and the Brisa cited earlier, the term rider refers to one who leads, that is, spurs the animal with his feet. Since spurring the animal until it moves constitutes a form of leading, the rider acquires. This does not prove, however, that mere riding constitutes a valid kinyan. And the Gemara goes on to challenge this interpretation.
Okay, let's take a look at Rashi. Rochov Basode. Who wants to read the Rashi?
Rochel Besoda. He's riding in the field.
Rochov Basode.
The Hema shall the Metzia, a behema that was found, Kona is acquired of a low be'ir, but not in the city, only in the field. Utaima, the reason, Mefresh will explain Lakema later on, the manhig, the leader, and leads off the ear, leading even in the city, Kana acquired it. Lakosha came Besade. So if he's leading in the city, he also would automatically be leading in the field. Shma Mina, learn from this. A Rachuv, a rider, Lechudya, who's riding alone, Kane Lechule.
Okay, so we see from this Brisa, Rashi explains us what the limud is. Shma Mina, we hear out from this Brisa, Rochuv Lechude Kone. We see that simply riding the animal is regarded as an acquisition, at least in the field, at any rate. For some reason, it's not in the city. Rashi says the Gemora is going to explain why. But what we're looking for is we're looking for a source that says that riding in and of itself, without kicking the animal and causing it to move, but simply the riding, that will itself constitutes a kinyan. And here, it would seem that the Bryce, when it says Rachov, it's only talking about the riding. It's not the person's not doing any type of action of leading, because the next din of the Bryce talks about leading. It says Rachuv acquires in the Sodeh, but the Manhig acquires even in the city. So you see that Rachuv is one thing, and Manhig is something else. So that's the proof that Rachuv by itself, without Manhig, is Kohen. So this will be a question, a refutation of the Amoraim that hold that Rachuv by itself is not Kohen. Here we have a Tanaic source from the Brisa. It says that it is. Okay, on that the Gemara answered like Roy already read. Hachanami manhig beraglov. The Gemara answers the only answer that it's able to answer. It says no. Those Amoraim, they'll say that this Brisa is talking also about a case of that the Rachuv is also doing manhig. He's also kicking the animal and causing the animal to move. He's not just riding. And only because of that is he able to be Kohen. Okay. Okay. Where am I? Oh, I'm still not here.
If you're simply sitting,
Oh, there. Okay.
if you're simply sitting on the animal, you're not doing anything. You're not
Yeah.
making it move anywhere, and it's not moving of its own volition. What relationship have you got to it, if any?
You're asking why would it be in logic that simply riding on the animal would constitute a kinyan?
No, I'm asking what would what, if anything, would be the relationship to the animal? Is it have you made a kinyan by simply sitting on it?
Yeah, the subject of this brisa is kinyan.
Yeah.
So it says that the rider will make a kinyan when he's just riding the animal in the fields.
Mm-hmm.
The Gemara answered, no. We'll say that no, it's not. It's not talking about a rider who's only doing riding. He's not doing anything other than riding. It's talking about a rider who's also doing manhig, and that's why it says that he is Kohen. That's what the Gemara just answered. Because we know that manhig is a kinyan mashicha, because he's doing something to cause the animal to move forward. That's definitely a kinyan. There's no machlekes about that view. The issue over here is what about the simply riding without doing that? The Gemara thought we had a proof that just riding is enough to say that we have a kinyan. The Gemara dismissed it and said, no, we're talking about a rider who's also doing manhig. Okay, so now the Gemara has a follow-up question on this resolution that the Gemara said that the writer here of the Brisa is also doing manhig. And we resume with I hachi. Alan, would you like to read I hachi?
Are we okay? Got it. The Gemara challenges this interpretation. If it is so that the rider also leads the animal, new min, then writing is identical to leading. It is thus redundant to teach that both writing and leading acquire. The Gemara answers, Tere, Garane, min id. There are two types of leader: one that prods or calls the animal, and another that spurs it with his feet. The Brisa informs us that even the latter type of leading constitutes a kinyan. In the last part of this page, the Gemara challenges the above assertion that the rider in the Brisa's case spurred the animal. Ihachi, Ruchu, Ba'ir, Amai, Ta'amor, Lo, Korni. If so, what is the reason that one riding in the city does not acquire?
Oh, because if you're saying that the rider is doing causing the animal to go forward, so that's a kinyan mashicha that everybody agrees is a kinyan. And why would there be a difference between whether it's done in the fields or whether it's done in the city? The Brisa doesn't, and the Brisa says there's a difference. Only the rider is kona when he's in the field. But Rashi said we infer from that the Brisa holds that this what he's doing, riding the animal, will not acquire the animal if it's done in the city. Well, if the kinyan is because he's doing kinyan mashicha, because he's doing manhig, so there should be no difference between the city and the field. So that is a question now that the Gemora is going to answer. Okay, so the Gemora answers Amar Rav Kana. Rav Kana's answering this question. Lou, you didn't read yet.
No, I didn't. Let's see. Rav Kahana. Where is it?
Top right hand.
What?
Top right hand, 9A4.
984. 9. Sorry, I'm turning the wrong direction. Okay, Amar Rav Kahana, said Rav Kahana, Uvi she'ein dar kan shel b'nei adam Verkov ba'ir, because it is not customary for people to ride in the city.
Oh. Okay. We got a Rashi over here. Ein Darkon. Phil.
In Darkon, it's not their way. That's only two words. Mishum, sniota. What is it? It's a matter of sneas to do that. That's why that's not why it's the way to do the riding in the city.
That's what Rashi says. What's this? So some of the explanations over here that I have. Nir shekavanato she'odam shematzniya umachbi ma'asav mishum anova. at least a person who who's conducts himself in a matter of humility, and he conceals his actions from the view of the public, so as not to draw any attention to himself. Hainu the rekiva b'fnei anoshim eino miderech hanava. If he's going to go riding around on a big horse in the city, when I guess other people are just walking around on their two legs, it's going to sort of he's going to attract attention to himself. It doesn't seem to be that was the general way of getting around if you're in the city. So everybody's going to say, "Oh, look at Plony. He's riding on a horse in the middle of the city. Wow. Yeah, that's Plony, right?" So he's causing attention to himself. He's attracting attention to himself. So that's not miderech hanava. Who would do that? Like he considers himself higher than other people, I guess. Ela yesh b'zeh gava. Shreirak etzel isha mitzanu b'psachim she'ein miderech hasnius lahaskir rekiva. Pisag raglayim. Oh. Av v'ish lo mitzanu sheyesh b'zeh chisaron b'tznius. Oh, he's arguing with Rashi. Who's saying this? Some other commentary. I don't know. I mean, Anava goes together with Sneas. It's not exactly the same thing. Sounds like we were describing Anava as opposed to Gaiva. Okay, well, this is not a disposition in Orcha Sadikim, and what's the difference between Sneas and Anava? So in any case, for whatever the reason that it is, if it's because of Sneas, it's because of Anava, it's because of a combination of them, but the Gemara says it's not the derech. The bottom line is it's not the accepted way for a person to ride around on a horse in the city. Okay, so and that's the reason why he cannot make a kinyan on the animal. So even though the kinyan of Mashiach is a kinyan which should work in all places, but since it's not the derech to ride an animal altogether in the city, so then we say that there won't be a kinyan if he rides the animal in the city.
And how's the animal get around? From one person to another or something? Maybe it's just used for carting things as a pack horse.
Intercity travel, or in the fields, in other words, in the outside the city. It's not accepted mode of transportation inside the city. Okay. All right, so we're up to Amalei Rav Ashi, the Rav Kahana. Looks like Rav Ashi has a reservation with what Rav Kahana said. And who we go to now? Roy, you want to continue?
Alan.
Alan? Okay, Alan.
Yeah. 984, the bottom of the page on the left, Gemara challenges.
No, you're on the right, where it says Rav Ashi asked. The Gemara rejects.
Okay, the Gemara rejects Rav Kahana's principle. Amar lay Rav Ashi, the Rav Kahana. Rav Ashi asked Rav Kahana, Elor may Tor Hina be Ha Ara Noti Bashabos. But now, if you assume this to be true, then if one lifted a lost money pouch on the Shabbos, She'ain Darakon Shel B'nei Adam Lahaga Biha Noti Bashabos. Since it is not customary for people to lift such a pouch on the Shabbos, Hechinami, the low cornet is the law also, so that he does not acquire it? Certainly not. Elor mai the var or avad cornet, or rather we say that whatever he has done, he has done. For example, although he transgressed the laws of Shabbos, when he lifted the pouch, still his act constitutes a kinyan, and he acquires the pouch. Hanami, or vad or vid, the cornet. Here too, if someone rides an animal in the city, what he has done, he has done. For example, although he violated convention, still his act should constitute a kinyan, and he should thus acquire the animal.
Okay, so that's Rav Ashi's reservation with Rav Kahana said, and we could understand that very well, right? Like, what does one have to do with the other? There's Hilchas Kinyonim. There's the law of acquisition, how to acquire an animal, and then there's the law of Shabbos. So it may have done something that violates Shabbos, but what does that have to do with the halacha of acquisition? This very same act, which would constitute a violation of Shabbos, it will be a kinyan. Will accomplish an acquisition. The fact that he violated Shabbos is not going to undo the acquisition that he made according to the laws of acquisition, and so too over here. So he violated the proper derech of respectable people, not to refrain from riding an animal in the city. So fine, so that's what he did. But what does that have to do with his ability to acquire the animal? He did something which, according to the laws of acquisition, acquire the animal. So that's Rav Ashi's very understandable reservation with Rav Kahana's explanation. Okay, now we're going to pick up with, we have no Rashi. We're going to pick up with the word Ella. This is the last line on the Amud. On the standard page, I mean. I don't know where it is on your page, but you can figure that one out for yourself.
The last paragraph, 9A4, on the right-hand side.
Okay, so whose turn it is to read? Roy, want to read?
First, okay. Having rejected Rav Kahana's explanation of the Baraisa, Rav Ashi presents another. Elo b'makor asakinon. Rather, the Baraisa that disqualifies riding as a kinyan in the city speaks exclusively about a case of buying and selling. The Amar Lai Kanei B'derech Shivanei Adam Kanen Kanen, where the animal seller said to the buyer, acquire the animal in the manner that people acquire. Since the seller stipulated that the buyer perform a conventional kinyan, he cannot acquire through riding in the city, for that is unconventional.
Oh, so that's part of the halacha now of acquisition when it comes to buying and selling. We said before we were talking about an animal of hefker. That's the way Rashi explained the brisa originally. Matzah behema shel Metzia. He found the behema, and so he'll be able to acquire it in this way and not in that way. Then we said no, that doesn't make sense. So now we're saying no. We're talking about not talking about acquiring a found animal that was hefker. We're talking about acquiring an animal from a seller. So to be a buyer, you got to follow the rules of the seller, and the seller stipulated in the deal that he said make an acquisition in the way that people make an acquisition, and so that means that that excludes doing this act of riding in the city. That's not a way of acquisition that people do in order to buy the animal, because people don't do that altogether. Okay. Okay, and now we have a round of applause for Samad Aleph. Hooray! Now we go to Tesamid Base on the top of the page. And the Gemora continues with this issue of riding the animal in the city. Okay. Who wants to read the Gemara now? Lou, you haven't read in a while.
Okay. Where are we up to? Ella?
When we turn the page to 9b1.
B1?
9b1.
But if it is in the public domain, Kane, he acquires. The Adam Chashuv, who, if he is a distinguished person, Kane, he acquires. The Isha, he, if it is a woman, Kanya, she acquires. The Inish Zila, who, and if It's a person who is base Kane. He still acquires. Everybody acquires.
Okay, let's see Rashi. We have time? We got 1 minute.
1 minute.
How long is the Rashi?
Oh, it's more than 1 minute long. It's more than a minute long, Rashi. Okay. Okay, so we will pick it up here tomorrow with the Rashis.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Bezrat Hashem. Everybody have a great day.
You too.
You too.
Amen.
Well.
Bracha v'atzlacha. Surah